Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of This Conscious Lifestyle. I'm Casey Lepper.
I'm Logan Lepper.
And this episode is going to be about the first month. So a summary of the lessons we learned, the successes we had, the surprises, and just in general, the things that we wish we knew going into it, or the things we believe will be helpful to anyone watching this who's about to maybe enter into their first month.
Yeah.
So what would you say is your biggest surprise first month?
Let me first say this, and I think we were incredibly prepared for having a baby. In fact, our midwife said that we are the most prepared they've ever seen. But you truly don't know what's going to happen. So as great as we felt going into it, and as great as I feel in the first month, I still feel like there's moments where I'm like, yeah, there's no way we could have prepared for this.
No, you prepare as much as you can, and then there's some things that take you by surprise. Yeah.
So the thing that's been most surprising for me, honestly, I think we got lucky in that Atlas is a pretty easy, chill baby. So I think it's been a little less chaotic than I thought it would really be. So that was a little surprising, honestly.
Especially, so this is 2021. We had him in February. It was a week before that crazy snowstorm that hit Texas and that knocked the power and the water out for a week.
So we were in week 2 during that crazy winter storm.
So there was that variable.
Yes,
but
there
it
was
was
that.
Actually quite nice.
Yeah.
We made do.
I guess surprising is a little bit like really trying to figure out his needs just based on his grunts and noises and sounds. And I hadn't really thought about, I thought it was going to be very easy, not very easy, but I just thought it was kind of be like, oh, well, this is when he eats, this is when he poops, this is when he needs sleep. But really he tells us different things at many different times of day.
Yeah. For me, the biggest surprise was, well, first, in the first 24 hours when you hear him cry, it just is like the soul-sucking and so challenging. And I think, my biggest surprise had to have been the whole childbirth process.
This one thought she was going to transcend the pain.
I really did. I really thought I could breathe and meditate through it. I just could not.
No epidural.
If I was in a hospital, I probably would have asked for it. So, kudos
I think one of my favorite moments during birth was when, it's crazy during it, obviously. There's a lot going on. We had 2 midwives, a doula, a person doing a baby blessing there, and Casey's very primal and lots of things are happening. But there would be these moments where it's like almost time stopped and everything got really chill and calm. And Casey, just with the most straight face, would look at the midwives and be like, can you just grab and take him out, please? Can you just take him out right now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a couple times. I also said I couldn't do it a couple times.
She also did.
So.
And every time she said she couldn't do it, 2 seconds later, she would be pushing harder and stronger than the previous one.
Yeah. Thank you.
She got stronger as it went on. It was really cool to watch.
So I think childbirth was a huge surprise. Also, I don't think you can ever prepare for the feeling of when you're holding your little one after it. I mean,
yeah. Oh, I know a surprise. She's talking about birth. I was thinking more post-birth, but I thought when the baby immediately came out, there would be a cry, but there was actually a pause between coming out and getting onto the chest for skin to skin, where I was literally like, "Where's that first cry? Where's that breath?" So I was not expecting that. I just thought he would come out crying. Yeah.
What's been our biggest lesson? I'll tell.
Yeah, why don't you? Yeah, what's?
I was unaware of how maybe kind of emotional. Like we both cried a lot when we just stare at Atlas. We would just break down and all like joy, like joyful.
Joy, so much love.
But also, I understand there's a lot of information out there about postpartum blues, postpartum depression. But even if you're not really experiencing those symptoms, there is a sensitivity there and a protection there. So I was so protective over Atlas. It was like, it was just this emotion. So the first time we took him out in public, it was not really easy for me. I think we probably did it too soon. In another video, I'll talk about my main products for the first month, or especially with postpartum care and repair. And I had my placenta encapsulated, and I think that really, really helped stabilize some of the emotions. But regardless, I think I needed to be clear about what some of my needs were from you more immediately.
Yeah.
So, you don't know what you're going to experience, but I would definitely recommend being really, really clear with your partner about some of your expectations. And the thing is you can only really expect what you know at that point. So when you're going through that process of the first month, and if you're needing more tenderness or more physical touch, like for us, Logan was so good at going out, getting food. Like we said, there was a snowstorm that we had no power. He was melting snow to get us water. Like there was a lot going on. And that was so supportive to me. But I needed a little more like physical touch. And we had to have a conversation about love languages again, for the 1,000th time.
Hey,
but yeah,
there's adjustments along the way.
So being able to say like, I see you, but I also need this.
Yeah.
It was really, really helpful.
I think vice versa. I needed that same thing too, of like, I needed to feel like I was doing those things and providing, because I think what was the lesson for me in the first week or two, that there really wasn't going to be much need from me from Atlas. And I had to be okay with that he was going to be going to mom. So it's like, well, what can I do to support? What can I do to be providing what is needed in this family right now? So I think, there was maybe a little bit of a tunnel vision of like, oh, I need to do this, this, and this for her because that's all I can do right now. I can't feed him. I can't feed him, but also he needs his time with mom. There needs to be that bond, and I need to be okay with that happening, and my time will come when it comes.
What would you say our success was?
I think what tends to always be our success comes from our adaptability. And I think figuring out the puzzle that is a newborn of like, when does he like to sleep? What's his best? What are his patterns? How much does he need to eat? Can we go to Logan's chest at 9 a.m. in the morning because he's a little more sleepy at that time, and that's fine. Like, I think just really figuring it all out in the first month is
so adaptability, flexibility, open communications, really, really key.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, it's in our relationship, I think we talk about everything. We communicate about everything. Nothing is off limits. We allow our mind to go down the wormholes and rabbit holes of anything we want. So if there's a strength that we can pass off, or that we would hope others would be inspired by, it's to talk about everything that comes up in your mind. That doesn't matter what you think it is, as far as, oh, this is stupid or silly or important or not important. Just talk about everything, because that, even if it's something that's so minimal or so simple, it might lead to a different conversation or a different topic that did have something important to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can't get there until you start talking about things.
Yeah. And I think it's that first month trying to figure out a new normal and a new routine, and you're a whole different person as soon as your child arrives. And
that's my biggest lesson, I think, is as much as I knew a child was going to change our life and change our routine and change our schedule, I didn't really know what that switch was going to feel like, to be like, oh, this is, like, I knew mentally, oh, he's going to be our priority. 100%, without a doubt, he's our priority. But then how do we start adjusting our life and really adjusting our schedule to match that he is numero uno?
I'm glad that we caught that interruption on film.
Why?
Because I was going in to say something, and then as soon as I said you have a new priority, you took it.
Sorry.
It's okay.
What were you going to say?
I don't know anymore.
Sorry I interrupted.
When you have a new priority, you can start to think that the things that you're thinking or feeling don't really matter, or that it's not really important, or you might be in survival mode. You might be tired. You might be in pain from birth. You might be tired. Did I say tired already?
Yeah, you said tired.
Okay, because I'm tired.
Yeah.
So it's important to just say it, and if it isn't really that vital, or if it's really nothing after you say it, then you can just let it go.
Mm-hmm.
But being able to have that space to like talk it out loud, I think is really helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hear our little guy over there?
I think that ultimately the biggest surprise is how just wonderful it is.
It's so wonderful.
Yeah.
It's so amazing.
Yeah, it is.
I get every baby is different for every couple, but it's the most incredible time, these first 4 weeks. Sure, there's a little bit of lack of sleep here and there, but and sure, he's not really speaking or smiling yet, but like there's so much character, there's so much like to him that I just can't look away and don't want to leave the house and just want to be here all the time.
Yeah, they're little puzzles, and you can see that there's consciousness behind their eyes. And for us, we believe our spiritual lens is, of course, like we're spiritual beings, but we come into a physical form, and it's almost like
it's like watching this little spirit try to figure out this new body that he's inside of, and the arms are going crazy, and the eyes are opening up to see the world and figure it all out, and it's just the coolest thing to watch it all go down in real time in front of us. Yeah.
So talk with your partner. I think journaling could be really helpful too, especially when you have a lot of feelings and emotions coming up for the birth partner. Being flexible and adaptable. I definitely think us having a lot of food prepared was key. Mm-hmm. Because of course you might have people in your life who are going to bring you food, but also it's really nice to not have to coordinate really anything as well, and not have to. For the non-birth partner, to make sure that they're talking about their heart, and if they need more love.
And dads, if you can do it, I understand this can't be a thing for everybody. I'm lucky because I get to create my own schedule, and she does as well. But I took off 4 weeks for paternity leave. That was for sure 4 weeks. And granted, that switched a little bit because of the storm that we had, and I had flooding at my studio and needed to go in a little bit. But I had planned on being home for 4 weeks. And that was even sort of flexible to where even now going into weeks 5 and 6, I'm minimizing my time going into work because I really want to have this connection time with not just Atlas, but with my partner, because this is a new stage of our relationship. So we're getting to know each other on a whole nother level, where as much time as I can spend with her for us to get to know each other in this new stage, I think is super important.
Yeah, because no matter how long you've been together, like we said in our first episode, we've been together for 8 years. And so we know what it's like to be together. But now everything has to change because there's another being in your relationship, and the dynamic automatically starts to shift. So, it's kind of like a restructuring or reorganization, reprioritization.
Ooh, that's
reprioritization. Reprioritization.
I can't believe you wanted to go with that word.
And the open communication just throughout is going to be really helpful in you figuring out what that looks like for you. These were some of the practices that we utilized the first month. Some of the things that the mistakes, the successes, the lessons, and it's a beautiful journey if you're willing to just allow what's coming up to come up.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you liked this episode, please hit thumbs up and subscribe if you have any interest.
Oh, wow. That's a really... She was real solid on that. You can tell we're clearly not YouTube veterans here. No. We have no idea what's going on with... Hit that subscribe button if you like us. Hit the thumbs up if you like this video. Tell your friends. I don't know what else to say about YouTube. We're winging it here.
Bye.
Bye.